afternoon, everyone. We have about 90, 87, 88, 90 people already with us. Great. So today's session it promises to be a really, really good one. Pushpi ma'am is going to share a lot of her learning from one of the programs that she did at Harvard Online School. And you all will get, I'm sure you will get some really nice takeaways, how we can enhance the quality of our classroom discussions. So make sure that you have a small pen and paper handy to make those quick notes.
Yeah, so Jain, then good evening, everyone. And today's session is about making our classroom discussions and outcomes more effective. So I am going to share some of my learnings, and as we go about in the process, if anybody has any query or a question, you can use the raise hand feature, and I'm sure I'll be able to answer you. But again, as I always tell, we all are teachers at some point of time or the other. We would have encountered these kind of situations or literature. Many of us perhaps would have gone through it, but always there is some learning from whatever we are presenting or sharing. So I hope I'm able to add a bit of my learning to your learning and make this session a fruitful one. Okay, this session will share strategies for driving students' ownership of classroom discussions and examine the role of teacher in framing and conducting these discussions effectively. So what happens is when each one of us as educator, as a teacher, we are certainly transecting a lesson and we are carrying out discussions in our classes. But in reality, how much of that discussion is fruitful? What are the learning outcomes? Many a times it so happens that the discussion has been initiated in the rightful manner, but in the middle somewhere it loses track and it goes haywire. So the role of the teacher or the facilitator out there is to ensure that if the discussion goes places, the teacher or the facilitator again gives cues, clues, and provocations to get back the discussion on the right track. Also, at the end of the discussion, it is very imperative and mandatory that the learning outcomes must be discussed, and it should be implemented. The discussion outcomes must be later on implemented in the class transactions. So this session will support you to challenge existing assumptions around classroom discussions, especially the role of the teacher. Time and again, the progressive output that all the three schools are now getting into, we are having plethora of new initiatives where time and again we are talking about child-centered education, the PBLs, the SLC, the presentation and communication. All these are child-centric and child-centered routines that we are doing in the schools. So again, as teachers, we have the habit, all of us, to intervene and interfere with the students. So the progressive way is that we let the children lead in the rightful manner or also in a holistic manner. That is, they own the class. We as educators need to be there in a very silent and subtle manner in the class and intervene only as and when it is necessary. Otherwise, whether it is the breakout rooms or the mainstream classroom, the children should be the pivot or the center of the class, and they should take on the discussions. Reflect on ways to identify instructional moves around equity that encourage students from all backgrounds to build their voices and more fully shape the direction of group discussions. Many times we all have encountered that in the PTMs or when we have parental feedback or children who are very vocal, they themselves come out and communicate that I was never given an opportunity or I was not given a chance. So as teachers and facilitators, we need to understand there has to be equity in the class. We need not marginalize anybody, or we need not, okay, this child is gifted, so he will not get a chance, or this child is a backbencher, so he will not get a chance. In the classroom space, every learner has to be given equitable opportunities, and it should be every child must have owners to participate in the class. Then again, if the classroom has been divided into groups in breakout rooms or any other discussion platform, there also, if there is a particular child who's taking the lead, the teacher need to, in a very subtle manner, intervene there and ensure that every member of the group gets an opportunity to represent his or her ideas. Plan to integrate into practice instructional moves, high leverage teaching strategies that foster productive student-centered classroom discussions. So it is a good, very good feeling in the sense that we, all the three schools, are on a very progressive path. We are doing so many initiatives wherein our classrooms are, we've taken a shift from the teacher-led classroom to student-led classrooms. And further also, in the days to come, in the months to come, we need to ensure that our classrooms need to be more student-centric. They need to take the onus of their learning. Also teaching. Now, how can we have onus of teaching on the child? Many times we have discussed in many of our CC Fridays that a video can be posted at day prior. The students can go through it, and in the next period, the next day, there could be a carousel activity or some form of activity where what the child has understood in that video on the previous, his own comprehension, can be represented in the class. Similarly, a large chapter can be broken up into small components, and different children can take onus for the smaller topics, and the same can be represented in a student-led classroom for better peer learning, better understanding. And though teachers' inputs can never ever be denied in a class, teachers' role cannot be denied in a class, but the progressive way is that a peer teaches peer. So that would, when a student learns from his friends, perhaps the vocabulary, perhaps the usage of the language is so on the level, on the same page, that there is a better comprehension, better understanding. So how do we do this? What is this instructor's role in classroom discussion?